everyday sneakers or comfortable sneakers? These are evergreen topics for creators to film, and we can update these videos every single year. Why? Because more than just sneakerheads are after sneakers that will provide everyday functionality and wearability for them based on the value they're looking to achieve in that pickup, and then also that pair being comfortable likely ranks really high on their list. I would say the older you are, the more comfort plays a part in that sneaker that you pick up. And I actually think this is what the average consumer is after when they are looking for that next sneaker pickup. Yes, they may be runners or they may use a sneaker in some athletic way, so there is a specific performance reason and purpose for that sneaker. But outside of that, the average consumer, I think they are just looking for that everyday pair that they can truly throw on every single day because there are only a few pairs by the door. That's it. Few pairs by the door, few pairs in their closet. They want them comfortable. They want them to wear all the time. And yes, this ties into my recent commentary videos, just looking at sneakers as a whole. Looking at the fact that we within sneaker culture are certainly consuming and buying way more sneakers than the average individual. How often are those pairs being worn? And then what is that real cost per wear? What is the value you're getting once you've purchased that sneaker? I think the average consumer takes that into account far more than we may do within sneaker culture, because they are looking at what is the price for this sneaker? How comfortable is it? How often am I going to wear it? I think that's why they may be okay with certain price points, because if you're only buying, let's say, one shoe a year and it's 160 to 200, but it's checking all of the boxes for you, you will certainly get your value out of that sneaker. Versus a lot within sneakers, like truly into this, yeah, you may pay 200 for that sneaker, but how often is it worn versus the other pairs that you likely also paid $200 for? 2 weeks ago, you're going to pay that in 2 weeks, you're going to pay that in 4 weeks. I mean, hell, if we're looking at February 2025, a lot of you were saying you're going to pay that at least 4 or 5 times within one weekend. One of the best things for a creator outside of just this platform, but any platform, you would love for your reach to go outside of those that normally tune into your content. Now, if you're intentionally trying to grow, then that's great. I all too often even forget to say, hey, subscribe, because I just want you to tune in to the videos if you're into them. If you subscribe or not, it's not the end all be all at the end of the day. It's really not. But as a creator, you certainly want your content to go outside of just like your little neighborhood, as people like to say. And when you talk about something that is going to really hit home, again, for the average person, the average consumer, not just those that are into this specific niche, that's where I think you can really add value. Because the average person is probably going to Google search at some point. They're going to Google. The average person at some point will Google what are the most comfortable pairs in 2024 or any year, or what are great everyday sneakers that I can wear. And 9 times out of 10, videos will populate within those Google search results. Which also means that like Heskix videos are probably going to come up, just because he is like the king of offering compilation videos on what are the most comfortable sneakers, certainly from performance that maybe can cross over to lifestyle, right? Maybe they are meant for running. Can you really wear them in a lifestyle manner, an everyday manner? Do they stack too high? Are they too, unstable for you to wear every single day? I think that's amazing evergreen content, and he does a great job at that, so shout out to Hess. For myself today, I don't want to run down an extensive list of like everyday sneakers that you can wear. I mean, I provided a list of pairs I love to wear on a consistent basis, and you guys can certainly check that out. But if we're just talking like 3 pairs, and they are also in different price tiers, because the pricing will matter for each individual based on what you're comfortable spending. So, number 1 as an option could certainly be, at least to me, the Adidas Samba XLG. I know a lot of people love the iconic Samba itself, but we understand that's not always the most comfortable. They really did a great job on the XLG, and it being priced anywhere from $110 to $120, depending on what retailer you shop at, and coming out with more and more colorways. I think that certainly offers an everyday option at a really nice price point. You could also argue a great alternative to that, if you're trying to stay lower, would be some Asics Runner. Now, you have so many options when it comes to those. I understand that people have been into Asics, and now more consumers are opening up to that brand. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand why we want to like clown people for maybe choosing to like get into it. Guess what? At some point, it's going to appear that maybe people are hopping on a craze of something because they finally have like opened their mind to trying it. That's natural, okay? if people came to the brand in that way because they thought, whoa, everybody else is really raving about it. Maybe I'll see what it's all about. That could become like their favorite option. Okay. I'm just saying. The second option for you is something that we've seen. It's still part of that retro runner that had its resurgence or has a resurgence right now. The Nike Zoom Vomero 5. Ample colorways. Now that is a higher price point at $160, and if you're not interested in paying that $160, because I wasn't either, you can wait until they go on sale, or you can check secondary markets because they will often have those shoes dead stock, brand new, but below the $160 retail price. So I think that's where you can really get a come up or a more valuable purchase in that shoe because it is so comfortable. I wore them all around New York. So comfortable. Again, lots of colorway options. And then finally, if you want to break into that $200 range, then by all means, hit New Balance. You can go through the entire 990 series. You guys know I love the V6. I have a lot of love for the V5, also the V4, and you can even do the 993 because I think that's amazing too. You can go classic gray. You can go with collabs, although when those come out, they tend to be harder to get, right? Like a Joe Fresh Goods collab. if it's on any of those popular 990 models, then yes, you may struggle to get your hands on that. But nonetheless, they can still offer everyday wearability because we understand the great scale spectrum that they truly operate on. And yeah, you will pay $200, but in terms of the material, the comfort, and if you're wearing that every single day, again, I think the average consumer may be more okay spending that $200 once for an entire year, and they're getting their wear out of that sneaker. They're getting more than enough wear out of that sneaker. Unlike a lot of us within sneaker culture, in which we may pay that $200 this month and then it could be within 2 weeks, or hell, even in the same week. If you're looking at February 2025, a lot of you have already said that you just know that you're going to buy like 4 pairs that are dropping. So you're dropping close to $1,000 like in 1 week. I don't know how often you're really going to wear those sneakers because a lot of us have learned we don't wear these shoes as often as we ever thought we would. And that's why a lot of us are selling them now. And I'd support you in doing that. Reclaim your space. It's a refreshing feeling. I will just say that. Now, if I had to pick just one of those options that I stated of those 3 today in 2024, this might shock you a little bit, but it would actually be the Adidas Samba XLG. I still absolutely love this shoe. I said in earlier videos, don't ever be surprised if another one makes it into the collection, especially because they are adding different colorways. But I just think Adidas hit a home run with this. Their Samba, just, I know the word icon is thrown around way too much, right? But it is actually an icon within sneaker culture and sneaker history. But they did their big one with choosing to beef up the actual padding, just widen the size of the shoe itself. I think that becomes more wearable for people just in terms of how your foot may be shaped. When you think about the interior being more comfortable and better lined, when you think about this midsole being better stacked, that's what you want to be able to wear a shoe all day long. And when I think about an everyday pair, too often I think everyday sneaker lists that may be put out, they'll have performance pairs on there. That's cool if you're like in school or you work from home, right? You own your own business or you're on a campus or something, right? But a lot of people, when they're thinking about an everyday sneaker, they want something that will really transition into the office, out of the office, okay? They can wear this to a dinner, they can wear it to a business meeting, and it's understated enough where you can do all of that and it not really stand out. It doesn't clash with your style, especially if you do want a more timeless classic style. Like in the video for this, I wore this with, I think, like darker charcoal slacks, a white tank, and like a jacket. And you can mix and match that jacket. It can be a leather jacket just for a dinner. It can be a blazer for a business meeting, and this still works. So when I think of a wearable everyday pair, yes, I am thinking of something that can truly transition across an entire style spectrum. I think that is real value. I think that's what a lot of everyday average consumers are looking for. And I think that's why these lists are valuable. And I think, everyone should go ahead, browse them, take them into account if you are looking to trim down that collection so that you have something you can just throw on all the time. That really works. So I think everyday sneakers will always be a topic of discussion, especially comfort. The older we age, the more that comfort plays a part. That's never a bad thing. So you can certainly check out my recent videos because I enjoy just kind of discussing, I think, a lot of things that aren't really touched upon within footwear, or they're kind of the quiet things that are not being said. I don't have a problem saying them. I don't. And you guys are chiming in the comment section, and trust me, I truly love it and appreciate it. Like the recent video and sneakerheads being closer to hoarding behavior than we would ever like to admit. And you can change that behavior. I'm certainly doing that. I love that for myself. A lot of you are doing that. So yeah, be sure to check out that vid. And also parents, just understand, even if you're looking for an everyday sneaker for your kid, it can be a Vomero 5, it can be any number of sneakers. They're still probably just gonna wear Crocs or Yeezy slides. So as long as you make peace with that, I think your back to school shopping will be just fine. I really do wish you all the best in starting this brand new school year. It's already started, and that's way sooner than it ever started when I was in school, but that also feels like ages ago. So with all that being said, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.